Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about flashes, and I said before the Nissin i40 was one of my favorite little flashes because it's just a workhorse and it works really well, and I've never had this thing fail. I like so much about this flash. I mean, something as simple as the bounce card. That's a solid bounce card that's put in here. It just works, and it works without fail, and it's still incredible. And then I picked up the Godox TT350 from a recommendation from somebody on this channel, as a matter of fact. And I do love it. It's, you know, the form factor's somewhat close, but this is it's a little bigger. But I wanted to try it because it would tie into the rest of the Godox lights that I recently picked up. And if I needed a quick, hair light or side light or accent light, this would work and it would be great. But like the Nissin, it was the AA batteries. And, the V1 and those, I like that rechargeable battery. That's it. I mean, they last so long. And to be able to carry just one extra battery versus carrying, 8 AA's, I like it. So, and I'm not great on recharging AA's. I'm always, shit, did I recharge this or not? So the first thing I did was, test them on the light meter, the flash meter, and, see if they were compatible, and they're pretty much identical, like extremely close to being identical. The next thing I did was find out that there was a V350, not the TT, which has that battery, which, they say it's 500 flashes. I don't know, because I haven't used it long enough, but I do love this. So, this thing is kicking off really well to start. And, that they can talk to each other wirelessly versus, this is the visual, yeah. Anyway, with the radio remote on this is much better. And this can be used as a remote on the camera, which, believe it or not, for an event, this is fantastic, because there's a lot of times where, with new cameras and the high ISOs, you really rarely need more than this on top of your camera during an event. Now, if you're shooting group shots and so forth, yeah, a bigger flash is necessary 9 out of 10 times if you want, tight, solid pictures. But if I'm shooting at an event and I want the ambient light to come in, I'm shooting at 1600 anyway on the ISO, and this is just a kicker to fill in some shadows and just add a pop to the face, and it's perfect. And the power it's decent. They said, I'm pretty sure they said it's 500 full flashes, full power flashes out of this, which, never equals out. Even if it was 450, it would be fantastic. Anyway, and when I used a little flash like this on top of a camera, it's probably 1/8 power. But today I'm going to push this a little bit, because I have somebody coming in just to play with this. I have the Godox version of the V350 and the Flashpoint version of the TT350, so the AA and the rechargeable battery one. And I just want to see on camera, off camera, using two, and just play with them, see how they are. So far with what I tried them with and tested them, they're pretty impressive. The color is right on. I like that. But now, I don't care if this was a Canon or a Godox or a Flashpoint or a Nissin. I'm talking about little flashes here. I'm not reviewing a particular flash. I already told you I love the Nissin because it's just reliable to me, but these aren't reviews. They're just, hey, how do they work? And are they good enough to use as a main flash? And I'm telling you, 90% of the time they are. And how do they work on TTL, which I'll find out today. Because I know newcomers to this, throwing a flash in your camera, that deer in the headlights look, and I mean, you'd be surprised what you can do with a camera, a flash on your camera. Sometimes that look is desired, and if you do it artistically, you can make something out of it. even if you don't have a remote yet, or if you don't have two of them yet. I mean, two of these, the AA ones, I think they're $80, $90 a piece. You know, that's $160 for a full studio system, believe it or not. And really, you can really do full studio lights with just two of these. And whether it's the Nissin or the Godox or the Flashpoint or the Canons, their little flashes, they work fantastic. So let's see how it does. Let's do a shoot and test these puppies out. Anyway, the main point of this is, you know, these little flashes that don't put out all this juice may be good enough for most of the things you do. You know, unless you're still hung up on competing with the sun, you know, these can do a great job. You know, it's funny that I don't ever try to compete with the sun unless I'm going after that dramatic shot and I take a studio light out. But, you know, overusing it and overusing it and overusing it. You know, using and getting natural photos a lot of the time is a good thing. And making it look like you didn't use a flash at all, it's just a beautiful photo, is a really good thing. So, you know, practice that. You know, grab a flash and just don't make it look like I used a flash. And then the times that you want to make it look like you used the flash, you can make it look like that. But natural, it's a good place to start. Anyway, we'll do a whole bunch of stuff today with the shoot, and we'll see where we can go with it and see how these 350s do. I'm excited actually, because this thing is so light compared to like a V1 or, you know, the other ones. And since they do have the same power as the Nissins, I'm really happy about that with a rechargeable battery. Anyway, enjoy the shoot. I hope you get something out of this. Have a great day.
So with this shoot, I really put this light through the gamut. I mean, you know, to start off, I'm just using the camera on the flash with the included diffuser, pointed up a little bit. I'm mixing the regular light, the window light with the flashlight, and everything is on TTL. So straight out of the box, boom, this is what you get. And it's natural and it looks good. You know, it's not that deer in the headlight look that you would expect from an on-camera flash. Just because of that tilt up and mixing with regular, you know, with ambient light, it works great. And, you know, shooting it straight on, yeah, you're going to get a more harsh of a look, but when you're mixing with regular flash or regular light, it's good. Now, this is a pop-up diffuser, or not a pop-up diffuser, this is a pop-up white balance card. White on one side, gray on the other. I'm using the white side just to bounce the flash into the card and light the model like it's a big diffuser. And it's working really, really well. I mean, the light from that is beautiful, and this fits in your back pocket. You fold it up and it's tiny. Anyway, now this, I took the ISO up to 800 because I want to bring in more of the surrounding light. It was actually dark in there. The video camera's obviously doing a good job. But there's the bounce and the back, and here are the catch lights in the eye. You can see the two, one from the flash, it's just picking a corner of it up, and then the bounce card. Now I put in the black in here so you know that it's not coming off of a wall or something like that. It's coming straight off that bounce or that fold-up white balance card, and this is the light. So again, on her it's darker than it seems because of, you know, the room and the video. But there it is, the bounce card's coming in from that one side, and it looks beautiful. So I wanted to do a couple with the shade closed, so it's just the flash itself that's on the camera, so you can get the look. And the weird thing is, if I'm up close, TTL fails, like right here. It completely fails. If I move back just, you know, 6 to 8 inches, TTL starts working again. I don't know what that quirk is. It happened when the diffuser was on and I was up close using TTL. It just wouldn't work. So now I flipped the boards around so the white side's showing, and I'm literally just bouncing off the left side of the board here. And in the next shot, I'm just going to turn it to the right side and bounce up the right side of the board, and instantly you have just that beautiful side light coming in and that 3D look with an on-camera flash. And of course you can do this with white walls or wherever you're at. You know, just move the person closer to wherever you're at, and, you know, that wall, and bounce it. Now this is just a pop-up. Well, this isn't a pop-up. This is the Lasso light diffuser. It's white on one side, silver on the other, and I think there's another panel with straight diffusion. But I bounced it off on a couple, and then here's a straight bare flash into her face. I have it turned down just a little bit, but it fills in the shadows, gives me the catch light, and it's a beautiful light. And that, again, that's straight TTL. Now, the silver side, I just wanted to get a little bit more sparkle out of her skin. Push that flash just a little bit more. And it did give it a bump. I mean, it wasn't a huge bump, but you can definitely see the more specular light on her skin and in her eyes. Obviously on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see that, but it did work extremely well. And I'm just moving it in closer now for more of a harsh look. I wanted that like more of a pop look. And it's just a matter, and here's the other thing. I mean, you press the one button and you can adjust your TTL up or down in 2 seconds. So that really works well. But so far I'm like really, really impressed with this light. And I know it's being shared with ambient light, but it's still working fantastic. It's a great little light. Now here I'm just having it a little bit behind, popping it, the flash is going right into it. And perfectly even lighting, great highlights, great catch lights. This is a fun little flash. Now here I switched to manual because I have the silver reflector behind her, and it was just tricking the camera too much. So I turn it to manual, and this is the shot I got. This is literally the reflectors behind her. I'm bouncing it all the way back and back into her, and it worked great. Now here I just wanted to do some kind of a studio shot with the somewhat beauty lighting, and it's just being bounced up into her, the back, bounced back down, and I'm using that little white card to, soften the shadows a little bit underneath her chin. Excuse me. And as you can see, it worked pretty well. I mean, that little card underneath is not doing too much, but it is doing something. So anyway, I'm sure you can do the same thing with just the reflector behind you. And those reflectors are not expensive, and you can get cheap ones, I'm sure. Straight flash, no issues at all. I still had issues with that going up close, but now I put the flash on a bracket and just bouncing the flash into the bracket, and I'm using the other, this is the TT350 on the bracket and the V350 on the camera. And it's like a little studio setup in 2 seconds, and the light's beautiful. Anyway, I'm hoping you are enjoying the shoot and getting some out of it. And by the way, I am using TTL on both flashes for this, which shocked me as well. Now, with the Canon R5, and I'm sure quite a few other cameras, you can control everything in the camera menu. I mean, the Canon R5 in particular, like I can literally change the remote flashes, change the on-camera flash right from the back of the camera, which I really loved, because the 350s, you can only see one flash at a time, but on the camera, you see all of them just in that menu. Anyway, this is the final couple shots. The battery, I believe, didn't move through this whole shoot. I checked the back and checked the bars, and I didn't see one drop of a bar. So, yeah, I mean, we were shooting on TTL, so there wasn't much light coming out of it, but still, for an entire shoot like this and not dropping, it was worth it.